Hey everybody, it is summer here at Groovy Plants Ranch, and I thought it would be great to share with you a handful of plants that I think are great for planting before spring. So if you can get them in this summer, take care of them through the heat of summer and fall, you kind of skip that whole spring and summer watering season next year because those plants have fall rains and spring rains to establish. So you get to cheat a little bit if you plant some of your perennials in the fall. My first pick here would be Aurelia Sun King. Now I love gold plants, and this thing definitely checks all the boxes. Super durable, it's a drought tolerant plant, deer resistant, gets about 4 feet wide by 3.5 feet tall. So it's a big presence in the shade garden and perfect for a pop of bright gold color at the back of your shade garden. So people often ask what kind of grasses you can plant in the shade, and there are a handful, and one of my favorites is Carex Pennsylvanica. This is the Pennsylvania sedge. So this plant has this wonderful flowing look to it, and when you plant these in the mass along a border, it's like a waterfall of green. The plant looks good all season long, and because it is a native, it's super well suited to our environment and just about bulletproof. Great one to plant right now would be Astilbe. It's a great season to plant them because they are a little more challenging in the spring and summer to keep water through the entire season. So skipping a few of those months and planting them now is a great idea. And you know, Astilbe is one of those plants that's really valuable in the shade for its flower color. Shade planting can be difficult to achieve a lot of flower color, and these things definitely do it. So we have other colors available too. This is Visions in Pink. But there are a number of great Astilbes you can plant now, and you'll have color next year on well-established plants. So two that I love, Brunnera and Pulmonaria. Very similar plants, both spring bloomers. So Pulmonaria in the spring has really nice pink or purple flowers, and then the Brunnera has forget-me-not blue flowers. And what's great about both of these plants is they have a heavily textured leaf, so they're deer resistant. These are great legacy plants. They last a long time in the garden. I have some that are well over a decade old. An awesome Hosta alternative or Hosta pairing plant. You can't forget about the coral bells and hostas. So these are wonderful to plant now as well. Again, you kind of get that easy establishing period here as we come into fall. And wonderful plants. Coral bells are almost a 4-season plant. In mild winters, they may not have much foliage die back at all. So you really get a nice long season of wonderful color out of the coral bells. They're deer resistant. Now hostas are not deer resistant, but the collection and selection right now is great. Right here we have First Blush. This is a red stem hosta. So there's a lot of beautiful hostas, and by this time next year they're going to be even larger. So much larger plants, and you kind of get to skip through some of that establishing. There is no rule that says you can't plant perennials at a certain time of year. Obviously if the ground's too hard to plant, say in the winter, not going to work. But right now is an ideal time. It's a perfect time to get those things established a little bit easier even than the spring. So here's some of my favorite shade plants you can pop in the ground now for a really nice garden next year. Now is the time to be thinking about what you want your garden to look like next year.